There are going to be times when you are not working in a standard 4/4 time signature, and as you can see, Stochas is sort of set up by default for this 4/4 time signature. Sometimes, like in this session here, we are set for a 3/4 time signature. So to be able to set up Stochas to respond to this, we need to make a couple of adjustments, and the first one to do is total steps, and next is steps per measure. First of all, total steps is the number of steps that Stochas will play before it loops around. In a 3/4 time signature, you've got 3 beats, and we'll be dividing those beats into 4, so we'll have 12 steps. The next we need to adjust is the steps per measure. Now, the steps per measure is how many steps is Stochas going to calculate to use in the space of a bar or a measure from the doors time. Now that's a little bit confusing, but what this is going to do here is it's going to try and squeeze in 16 steps into this 3/4 time signature, so into essentially 12 steps. So it's going to adjust the length of each step down to something a bit smaller than what we want here. Just for an example, I'll play this so you can hear what's going to happen. As you could hear, that was really quick and was racing through. So if I change this to steps per measure to 12 and leave the total steps at 12, we're now working in a 3/4 time signature in the door and in Stochas. So let's now listen. Okay, I do have a 4/4 drum beat pattern there, but you get how the total steps and the steps per measure have to match the door's time signature. But that leads me on to using total steps and steps per measure to create polymeters, that's total steps, and polyrhythms using steps per measure. I'm just going to set this back to 16 steps and 16 total steps, 16 steps per measure. And I'm going to change Pro Tools back to being a 4/4 time signature. So let's have a listen to what's going on with this, and we're back to this 4/4 pattern. It's a little bit quick. Okay, let me bring back in the left hand part that I've got in here. And I want the playback speed to match the playback speed in layer 1, because I've essentially got a right hand part here, and a left hand part on layer 2. So let's listen to these two again. Okay, so that's using a 4/4 time signature in this version of Stochas. Now I've got a bass part which I've written a 5/4 bassline. So now the steps per measure are set to 5, indicating each one of these steps, or these 5 steps here, will be squeezed into a space of 1 bar within Pro Tools' time, or within my door's time. So this yellow bar indicator here, you can see has come in. I've set the total steps to 20, because what I want to do is use 4 bars worth, so I've got got it to match up with the chord sequence that's playing in this version of Stochas. I've got the playback speed set to 1 because I only want it to play these 5 notes. I don't want it to play double time or anything. So as you can see here, because I've gone over the 16 steps, I've got to step over and just check the other pattern. But have a listen to this. It's a 5/4 pattern here on the bass, and I've got the keys playing a 4/4 pattern along with the drums. As you can hear there, the bass line skips that first beat, but then it plays 4 notes in that shorter space of time. And as you can see, I'm just using Stochas to just play my bass line. So this is how I can squeeze in polyrhythms, or how I can use a polyrhythm in a 4/4 time signature within my DAW, and not have to worry about how I'm going to position the notes or finding the start and the end point of a note within a normal 4/4 time signature and having to enter that and do all the maths that's needed to do it.